I'm pleased to be joined by Julie Heck, and Julie is a resident of Central Iowa. She's a mother of three, works full-time, and also is a full-time student. Also with us is Charlie Bruner. Charlie is the director of the Child and Family Policy Center, and he's also a former state senator here in Iowa and a colleague. We're here today to talk about the Earned Income Tax Credit. As people know, last legislative session, in a bipartisan effort, the General Assembly, both the House and Senate, 2 times passed a substantial improvement to this tax cut that helps Iowa working families. Unfortunately, it was vetoed both times by Governor Branstad. It is a top priority in 2012 for our caucus. We think that it's long overdue, providing tax relief for Iowa's hardest working families. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Julie to tell about her own personal experience with this important tax program.
Thank you. My name is Julie Heck, and I live in Pleasantville. I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of the EITC and what it provides for my family. I am a single mother of 3 children. I currently work full-time for a community action agency, and I've been there for 6 years. I also attend Simpson College full-time, and I am currently pursuing a degree in accounting and business management. In my work, I deal with a lot of single mothers who are living in poverty, so I'm very familiar with the EITC credit and what it does for families. Last year, I made $33,173. Of that $33,000, $6,300 went to child care costs, and $9,900 went to rent and utilities. That leaves very little to support 3 children on. In addition, $2,000 was taken out of my payroll for taxes, and I also pay taxes in the form of gasoline tax, sales tax, necessities that are for my family. The EITC has been absolutely critical for my family. In recent years, the EITC refund has helped me put a down payment on a car, and so that I had reliable transportation to get to school and work. I've also used it to buy bulk propane. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the cost of heating in this cold climate, but the bulk propane has allowed me to save a ton of money on my utilities. This year, my federal taxes, I'm scheduled to receive $2,279 from the Earned Income Tax Credit, and an additional $3,000 from the federal child tax credit. These refunds are important to me and my family. I plan to use this tax refund to help pay for some of my summer college tuition fees and preschool tuition for my youngest son. And also, I have some medical bills that need to be caught up from illness that my daughter had. A portion of my refund will go to match my children's savings account. A couple years ago, we started, my kids and I sat down, and I want to teach them the importance of budgeting so that they have a fresh start when they get to become adults. So what we proposed was that whatever money that they save throughout the year, in Christmas or earning, working, anything like that, I would match their whatever they had saved throughout the year and put it into their savings account. And they get really excited. I mean, my oldest is definitely a penny pincher, and she really enjoys getting to see how much money she can earn so that mom can match her at the end of the year. And none of the refund that I get is spent on extravagant purchases. We watch every cent that goes through our house. We sit down as a family, budget together, and every penny's accounted for. There is no extravagance. This year, when I filed my state taxes, I was eligible for a $160 Iowa tax credit for earned income credit, and $750 for the Iowa Child and Dependent Care Credit. Even with these credits, I still end up owing $410 to the state of Iowa for state income taxes. The result of that is that $410 of my federal earned income tax credit is spent paying that state income tax that I have left owed. It doesn't make sense that I owe a state income tax if I'm receiving a large refund from the earned income tax credit from the federal government. I'm very grateful to the people of Iowa for helping my family with this. It makes a very big difference in my life and my children's lives, and we're putting it to good use. The kids are definitely learning about saving money and giving themselves a fresh start when they get there. So in closing, I urge you to increase the EITC for working families just like mine, and that can give our children what we need for their future.
Thank you very much. Charlie, would you like to add anything?
Well, I really want to thank Julie for testifying, and I want you to know that she really is speaking on behalf of the situations of literally over 100,000 families in Iowa and 260,000 kids in our state, or 37% of all of our kids in the state, who do receive the earned income tax credit, or their families receive the earned income tax credit. And about half of those kids are in the same situation that Julie's family is, that they get a refund at the federal level, and then they have to pay back some of that refund to the state because of our state income tax, because our earned income tax credit is so small. Iowa's one of only 6 states in the country which imposes an income tax on families who are below the poverty level, and particularly for families like Julie, who are earning at a level which they're still struggling to get by. We impose a very heavy tax. We don't do it for retired people at that income or even much higher levels, but we do on working families. The biggest unfairness in my mind in our overall tax code is the way we treat working families with children like Julie.
Great. Julie and Charlie, thank you both for being here, and for others. They'll be joining us at the Ways and Means Committee for a more full presentation at 2 o'clock. I encourage you to join us. This time of year, as chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, I'm inundated with special interest tax proposals for all sorts of special tax treatment and tax cuts. I can't think of a more important tax cut right now to focus on than this improvement in the earned income tax credit. There will be a study bill taken up next week on this topic, and until we get this passed, that long list of special interest tax treatments and tax policy ahead of us is going to be on the shelf. This is it. I want to get this done and get this to the governor's desk and signed before we spend any time on any of that other business. So with that, we'd like to entertain any questions.
Would you raising the earned income tax credit to 10% then mean that you don't pay state taxes? Julie specifically, would you pay state taxes? Which is the proposal, correct?
Well, state taxes are still owed on the money that at Julie's income. She still has a state tax burden. We would say that the earned income tax credit would not eliminate those taxes, but would basically act as a kind of a refund to her and her family.
So what would that kind of increase mean to you personally?
It would mean one more week of groceries for my family, that I wouldn't have to, make a choice of, do we pay for medicine this week or food this week? I mean, all that stuff is down to the wire, so, it may seem like a small number, but it's very significant.
Other questions? There is a chart that's been provided. I think people got it. It gives a couple different. The proposal before the Senate is going from current 10% refundable credit to 13%. Child and Family Policy Center and other child welfare advocates are actually advocating that we increase it to 20%. So there are a couple different proposals out there that we're going to look at.
What's the price tag, or how much less would the state be bringing in?
The price tag on the $13 million is in the $25 million range, and the 20% is approximately $55 million.
And how many people estimated would qualify for this?
About 250,000 households.
It's overall it's over 500,000 Iowans. It's 260,000 of those are kids. That's 37% of all kids in the state. So this really goes out to those starting out families which aren't making a lot in their beginning years, often when they have young kids, and people who are working at those moderate wage positions. We just did a study of direct care workers, and direct care workers which work at nursing homes, the fastest growing business occupation in the state, they average making about $11 an hour, $10 to $11 an hour, or $20,000 or $22,000 a year. And those are the people for whom the earned income tax credit really benefits.
So about 250,000 taxpayers would qualify for it, but there
No.
are other children that would.
Well, households, about 250,000 households would qualify, but that has 265,000 kids.
Okay.
And 95% of the benefit goes to families, working families with kids. And it is only for families which are working. If you have other type of income, that's not counted. And in fact, if you have other type of income, you may well not be eligible for the earned income tax credit.
Is it still 45,000 annual below?
In terms of an income?
Yeah, the earned income tax credit phases out at $45,300 for a married couple family with 3 kids. And for a single mom with 1 kid, it's a little bit lower.
To stress the importance of this, I mean, Charlie talked about the benefit to kids. Julie talked about what she would do with with this extra resource if we improve this. 1 out of 5 children in Iowa today is food insecure. You know, this is about literally putting food in young kids' mouths to make sure they're successful.